Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been about 2 weeks since my last video. I was very busy last week. Not to mention, I had two very large pimples on my forehead that I knew would be very distracting when I filmed. So I wanted to let those pimples go away before I filmed another video again. I'm back now. I have a lot of videos written out. I'm going to do some more filming this week. Before I get to that, I would like to do a reaction to a video series I've been watching on YouTube that has been very intriguing. Jamie Kennedy sharing his experience making Son of the Mask. The series is titled Son of the Mask, The Untold Story, Parts 1 and 2. He has more parts coming up. I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say next. Until then, it is very interesting to hear Jamie Kennedy share his experience making this absolutely atrocious movie that has been considered by many to be one of the worst movies ever made. I remember in high school, this movie was getting ready to release, and I see a poster for it at the mall, I see commercials for it on TV, and in my mind I'm thinking, this movie looks absolutely atrocious. I don't want to see this. I don't know anyone who wants to see this. I'm not seeing it. This was at a time when I could trust RottenTomatoes.com, so when this movie released, I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score lower than 10% for Son of the Mask, and I said, I knew it! And Jamie Kennedy received a lot of ridicule, a lot of negative backlash for making this picture. And here he is, 16 years later, addressing it. When he addresses it, I can tell he's still kind of uncomfortable talking about this horrible experience in his life. Because when you make something that you know is horrible, and then it gets released and you get nothing but ridicule for it and extreme negative criticism for it that goes on and on and on, that can have an effect on your mental health. It can be very painful to deal with criticism like this over and over again for long lengths of time. But it's good for him to address this, and it's healthy for him to get on camera and admit that it's a horrible movie. He had a terrible time making it, and that it didn't look terrible when he first signed on. You know, that happens a lot in movie making. A lot of times it looks good on paper, and then you film it and present it, and it's bad. I've had that experience myself in film school. I had some ideas. When I wrote them out, they looked good. When I filmed them and presented them, they were bad. And filmmakers know that you make some stupid projects in the beginning, and then you learn from it and improve from it to make good projects in the future. I've had experiences in the past where I'm helping a classmate make a movie and that in my mind I know is terrible, and I just want to gain what I can gain from it. And I obviously haven't had that experience at the scale that Jamie Kennedy had it, where he was helping to make this movie on an $80 million budget with a worldwide release, and it gets released. It looks good at first. When it's released, it's absolutely terrible. The movie flops, gets bad reviews, and it hurts his career relentlessly. You know, this is tough. It's tough to deal with things like this. And he certainly learned from it, and you know, he's sharing a lot of details in this series that a lot of us didn't know before, that you know, again, as I said, it looked good on paper to him, and he got to see the effects beforehand. He was told he could make a multi-million-dollar franchise out of this movie, and in the process of making the picture, he had a lot of creative freedom stripped away from him. He wanted to play one role. He got forced into playing the lead role. He was forced to use a lot of the producer's ideas, and you know, we can tell it's not entirely his fault that his performance was not good, and it's not entirely his fault that the movie sucked. And this is good to learn from him. And this is why I can strongly recommend this video series to other filmmakers. Other filmmakers should check out this video series that Jamie Kennedy is doing. You know, don't see the movie, obviously. I've never seen the movie. I've seen other YouTube critics review this movie, Son of the Mask, and use clips from the movie in their reviews. And when I see those clips, it kind of makes me sick. Even Jamie Kennedy has been using some clips from the movie and behind the scenes in his video series, and seeing those clips again stirs my stomach. Kind of hurts my head too. And filmmakers can certainly learn from this video series on why you shouldn't lie to your actors, why you shouldn't trick your actors into signing on for certain projects that you want to have creative control over, and why it's important to let actors have creative freedom over their roles. Occasionally, it's okay for a director to shoot a scene exactly how he or she intends, but you want actors to personify the roles, to bring what they think they should bring to the roles they're playing. I did that with some of the short films I directed, and a lot of actors, upon completion of the pictures, had nothing but good things to say about me, and I was grateful for that. Other filmmakers, when they see this video series, they can see, again, how something can look good on paper and not translate well on screen. They can see how, how money on a multi-million-dollar budget can be invested in some of the wrong areas. And, they can see, again, how sometimes when a movie turns out really terrible, don't just blame one person. Look at what may have happened behind the scenes. And in Jamie Kennedy's case, it's not entirely his fault. And, I certainly feel bad for Jamie Kennedy when I look at this series, because Jamie Kennedy does have acting abilities. He has versatility. We saw him in the movie Scream in the 90s. We saw him in his TV shows. And then this movie, Son of the Mask, hurt his career a lot. And, it's sad. I definitely feel bad for him. And, God forbid any of us have the experience that he had. And, for him to address this experience himself is really valuable. It's a lot of valuable information. I've certainly gained a lot from it. I'm looking forward to what I may gain from his next videos on this. So filmmakers out there, if you haven't seen this series yet, Son of the Mask, The Untold Story, definitely check it out. Have you seen it already? What are your personal thoughts on it? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments section. Like and share if you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to me for more videos. Hit the bell if you want notifications, because I am creating for you. Have a great week and a great life, and always love yourself for who you are. Godspeed.